Let's go.
Hell yes.
Welcome to
What's up?
NFT Live. Let's go. Let's go.
I'm really feeling it.
How's
Yeah.
everybody doing today? Happy Lads Day, everybody.
We made it. We made it.
We
What a
did
win.
make it. We did make it. It's
We've earned
finally
it.
Friday. I know we were here Wednesday, which definitely threw off my week because it felt like Saturday on Thursday. And I was like, I'm ready for the weekend. It's still Thursday. We got another episode of NFT Live tomorrow, today.
Because your body was telling yourself, oh, I did an episode, so the week's
Yep.
over with, right? And so
Yep.
now you're doing 2 a week and you got to shock your body a little bit.
Yeah,
That muscle
exactly.
memory, right?
Yeah, it's crazy how like your body can just definitely get into a sync or a rhythm or whatever. It's like, hey, you did NFT Live, time to take the day off, sit around, and I guess go to work because it's Thursday.
Grind every day, 7 days a week, 365. Biggie, how you doing? How your grind's going this week?
Oh man, I'm honestly happy and glad that it's Friday. Like it was one of those, like I don't know, like since like you said, it threw my week off since Wednesday, and then yeah, I'm just happy it's Friday. I'm feeling good. I'm looking forward to the weekend. You know, just doing the Baloo thing, floating face up and scratching my belly for a little while. Unplugging.
I'm a big college football guy, and so Saturdays I look forward to more than Sundays. And my team, you know what, I'm a Washington State Cougar fan. That's my college. And so they're playing a huge game against Oregon tomorrow. And so I'm getting together with a whole bunch of dudes. We're throwing a big house party to watch it because for the first time in forever, we're 3-0. I actually do not remember a time in my entire life that we've been 3-0. And so this is like the best year we've ever had. And so that's why I'm like super jacked for Friday.
Nice.
And having said that, and because I'm going to be partying on Saturday, I've already put together my episode for Sunday. I will have a fun uncle. I'm already putting the pieces together. It's going to be the top 5 play to earn games with the highest return on investment. And so it's a big weekend for me.
I like how you cleared the space, right? To really like allow yourself the enjoyment and perchance slight hangover the next day, right?
Exactly.
And not have to worry about it.
When Fun Uncle goes live, I'll be like this, just like,
Do you guys do like is it still like tailgating season where you're at? Like you guys still do that or?
Well, yeah, and you know it's funny you say seasons because I'm in Seattle. It's always raining and it's always cold and it's always miserable, and so that's why Seattle Seahawks fans are some of the most diehard fans in the country because they are out tailgating just like everyone else is, but it's pissing rain, you know, and they're still grilling and they're still doing beer bongs. And that's the funniest part about doing a beer bong in Seattle is as you're holding it up, it's getting watered down.
No way.
Like the longer you are drinking, the more liquid is being put into the beer. You got to do it fast. And so, you know what? You're right, Asmodai. I should do a hungover live on Sunday. That is great content.
With Bloody Marys, like you're making Bloody Marys or something, you know?
Little hair of the dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
You start drinking some of that tequila you were talking about a couple of weeks ago. The smoky.
The mezcal, man.
Yeah.
You don't want to cure a hangover with that though, Savage. That'll be rough. Really rough.
Hey, I think a hangover is what withdrawals from booze, right? It might put you right back into the vibe.
Ooh.
I get you, man.
Well, that's what NFT Live on Friday is all about, is talking about booze, football, taking naps. The other funny thing I want to touch on was like how, you know, whenever we get together, we usually get together for these shows about 15, 20 minutes before we go live. We have such a great conversation. You know, I feel like every time we should do this, we should just be like linking up, go live, you know, just press the live button. Because we were talking about cell phones. That's what we were talking about before we went live, about how Biggie, you're an Android guy. I've got an iPhone. And the reason I'm kind of stuck with the iPhone, I love the iPhone, but the reason I've never even looked at getting an Android is because I'm in the Mac ecosystem. And whenever I step away from the Mac ecosystem, I lose the ability to transfer files from my laptop to my phone in an efficient way. And this fed us into the Web3 cell phone. Solana's coming out with a Web3 cell phone. Polygon Matic is coming out with the Nothing cell phone right now. I don't know if you guys have heard about that. And that is actually exciting for me because there will be no more of this. Oh, well, I've got the green text bubble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or, oh, I can't, in order for me to get files from my Mac to my Android, I got to put it on the cloud in Dropbox, and then I got to download it. And I think this Web3 idea, I'm trying to bring it back to NFT Live here. I think the Web3 idea is so brilliant because my files will live everywhere. Even if I, took your phone, Biggie, and just signed into my MetaMask or whatever, it would immediately pop up without any kind of.
Can you imagine that? I mean, that'd be beautiful. Or whenever you switch phones to a new phone, like you don't have to wait forever and have to sign into every single fucking thing.
Yeah.
It's just like, boom,
yeah.
I got my seed phrase. Excuse
Instant.
me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'll be beautiful. It'll be beautiful. It's a wonderful world. Yeah. I didn't want to live in it. Now,
I don't ever switch cell phones. I'm still rocking my iPhone 7S. So,
attaboy. That's actually impressive. That's really impressive.
Hey, you know what? My battery life is crazy too. I don't even charge it every day. On the battery meter, it says it's degraded and I should replace it and it's out of warranty. And I'm like, what are you clowns talking about? I get over a day of battery life. I don't ever use it.
Wow.
I mean, I sit at my computers all day. I got 3 computers around me. Who needs a cell phone? It's usually upstairs on my bed or in the bathroom charging.
Got it. I was going to say, I've got the 12 and I get a half-day charge. Like realistically, it's I have to plug it in at halfway through the day. And so for you to go multi-day on a 7, you're doing something right. Or you're the luckiest man alive. You should buy some scratch tickets, dude.
Just not using it at all. It sits around, does nothing. So you know what? I had an Android phone for forever. And then I was working for a company and I had to support a bunch of technicians in the field, and they all had iPhones and Bluetooth printers. And since I was required to support the iPhone and talk everyone else through how to use it, I was like, what's the best way of doing this? Let's just buy an iPhone. And then I've never left the ecosystem, but I've never had a Mac wallet or a Mac computer or anything else. Apple, never had an iPad, just don't have a use for it. I also don't have an Xbox or a PlayStation or anything.
So I'll tell you this funny story. I have a friend who works in the camera department for Apple, and he tells you, like, by far, he's like, dude, he's very convinced that like Apple has the best camera. Of course, right? He works at the but
of course he's saying that.
He uses an Android. So we always mock him about it. And he's like, it's just the UI and everything else is better. It's like I'm forced to own it. And he pulls out another. He's like, I'm forced to have a freaking iPhone, but for my personal phone, I much prefer an Android. How crazy is that, huh? I'm not telling you who it is, Apple.
And he works for Apple corporate.
Yeah.
Well, you have given them a lot of tips, pretty much. Like he works at
well, and I guess like it's maybe like you have to research the enemy. Right?
Yeah. Oh, true. That is a very good point for him to own an Android.
This is true.
Yeah. He's doing research for work.
He has to know how to migrate other users' information over in the Geek Store or whatever.
Exactly.
He's like, I know that phone really well. I got you.
And in bringing things back to Web3 one more time, I know you guys hate talking about Web3 here. I love it. I'm fucking with you guys. But the idea of my photos are on Instagram, but they're not on like TikTok or Pinterest or, on some new website that comes out. And so let's say a brand new website like TikTok comes around and all the kids start flocking to it. And if you want to be hip and cool, you got to go over there. And in order to do so, I got to then re-upload, refine the videos that I liked and the photos that I liked. And that just, makes my mouth salivate the idea that in Web3, like, no, I just sign into this new platform and I have to actually, what I have to do is deselect the ones that I don't want because everything will instantly load up for better or for worse,
Yeah.
I think one day your entire computer will be on your phone. And then when you want to use it, you will just cast it to your laptop, to your desktop, to your whatever.
Pick a screen.
Pick a screen. Why would I need to upload my profile everywhere? My phones should be always on me. It's usually laying around, but that's besides the point. But that's your main computer and you should just be able to cast that profile to whatever PC you're on. Like it's in range. Why can't you sync up and do that? Like, exactly. Come on, devs, do something. Come on. This is the bear. You're supposed to be building. Give me something. Come on. We got Asmodai in chat saying, laugh out loud, only 25% market share for iPhones, but number 1 for advertising of second-rate products. Well, we don't want to push away all our viewers. NFT Live is full support of iPhone and Android.
No, we are now a Solana, Saga
only.
One, and a Polygon Nothing phone network. That's the ones we should be talking about in advertising. And Jacob actually gave me a really good idea a couple weeks ago that like what we should start doing are these advertising segments. You know, like don't wait for these products to ask us to do an advertisement. We should just make a commercial for the Solana phone. You know,
and maybe
and,
they'll
like, run it during
airdrop
our
you
show.
something.
Yeah, and maybe if we do it, if we like hype them up enough, they'll give us a deal or want to do a partnership with us. But like we should, you know, be going out of our way to being like, let's make a commercial for them. You know, a LADZ City exclusive for Solana, or LADZ City exclusive for Polygon.
I like that idea.
I'm gonna call on my co-host. Can you guys talk? I'm gonna go grab a cup.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Do
okay.
it. He's gonna go get his pin.
Now
cup.
that he's gone, my mind is blank. I don't know what to think.
What do we
about
talk
now.
about, Funko?
Our fearless leader is gone. I can talk about how my new NFT project, I have just picked out the VIP dates for my events, and I've already booked my flights, and I'm traveling to a bunch of locations this year and next year. I'm just stalling as I pull it up. Wait, no, it's not in that folder. Shoot, where'd I put it?
Fun Uncle's World Tour.
Yeah, I'm going to Cabo.
I love it. It is
in a couple weeks. Yes. Oh, there it is. Nice.
I got you.
And immediately when I get back from Cabo, I've got my first event in Vegas. That's October 24th. Then we're doing Bitcoin in Miami. Just locked that one down May 15th, 22nd. NFT NYC. I got 3 different teams of people working on events. There's Web3, of course. That's doing an event down in NFT NYC. That's with Gifted and his crew. I'm also working with this other metaverse brand called 5 Diamonds that makes exclusive clothing for the metaverse. That's got like diamonds encrusted in the into the clothing. And then another one with the swimwear company, Bikini Beach Australia, which is the main show, Miami Swim Week, July 12th and 17th, 2023. So I got a lineup of VIP events, backstage access for my NFT holders starting next month, actually, in Vegas. I'd love to get another event going for December, January, but already a lineup of stuff. My cup runneth over.
That's I know this is a word we don't like using in this space, but that's a lot of utility you got going on there, Fun Uncle. That's a lot of utility you got going on.
And so with a buck.
And so basically people buy this NFT, and if they go to any of these events, they get to ring up Funko and they get backstage passes to these things?
Yeah.
How does that work?
I leave and that's where this idea even came from, is I've been doing this for a while now, and I leave this event with bunches of backstage passes. Like Bitcoin Miami, I left with 10 extra backstage passes. I actually have virtually an unlimited amount at Miami Swim Week. I'd love to see what the cap is on that. They've never given me a cap for backstage passes. And that's where this idea came from, is like, oh, you know, and what I've been doing up until this point, until I made the NFT, is I've been calling up my college buds. You know, I'm like, yo, dude, if you fly into town, I've got a backstage pass for you. And even still, I leave with extra passes. And my dream is that I have so many people coming to these things that it would warrant me renting out a space, you know, to have like a big party for everybody. But right now it's just backstage access to these events. And if I have maybe 20 people coming, I'd have to do a raffle or something like that. And and then maybe do it on different days. Like you 10 can come this day backstage, and you 10 can come this day, because I'm going to be there all week, you know? And so that's what I'm workshopping right now. And right now is very important to get these NFTs because they're early bird prices. They only $50 each to get these NFTs, and the prices will increase in the next phase, which is undecided when the next phase is going to start. So right now they're cheap. They're $50 each. They're really cool NFTs. They unlock West Coast Web3, my Discord that's full of money-making moves in the Web3 space, including a tab just called Instant Money. You know what? I'm just going to pull this up on my screen here. I've got it ready to go. There's just a tab right here called Instant Money, where I have like scoured the internet and pulled up like all of the free signups in Web3. Just instant, get $100 here. These are airdrops, all the NFTs that give you free tokens when you pick them up. $700 just signing up over here. But then, yeah, that's the utility I want to add here. But that's not all. You know, I'm talking about different ways you can make crypto money. Yeah, e-commerce. Because in my mind, I think that affiliate marketing and e-commerce, that's you standing up your own, decentralized business. You know what I'm saying? And I think in many ways, like this is kind of an entryway into Web3. And so I'll even like if you want to do a blog for your, e-commerce or affiliate marketing business, how to make videos and stuff like that, signups for affiliate marketing. So there's a lot going on in here. So that's really what it boiled down to is like, yeah, I really wanted to give bang for your buck. And then simultaneously, when you buy these NFTs, you help support me. And I would love to be able to get this Fun Uncle brand into a self-sufficient place to where this is all I'm doing full time. And I figured the best way to do that is through these NFTs.
I love it, Funko. I love it. That's what it's about.
I got a bet. So a lot of these projects have big plans and we don't know where they're going. They might be gone in a year or so, but who won't be gone? Are the people grinding, making content and working every day. Not only is Fun Uncle a streamer and a content producer, he gets to run around with models and stuff, and he's got like real utility. So the last NFT that I was real happy to buy was a Fun Uncle, and the same day I bought some gifted NFTs because two people grinding in this space. Like, who knows where all these projects are going to be? I know Fun Uncle and Gifted are going to be still making content years to come.
And there's nothing better than seeing your peeps succeed, right? To find success.
100.
Thank you.
For sure. That's what it's about. Support your people.
Yeah. And this was actually a conversation we were having again before the show started, is that like the conversations during a bear market are more constructive, are more fruitful. There's not all that noise and clutter, so you actually can hear yourself think. It's like instead of us being at a loud concert, which is what the bull market is, we're now in like a museum, where the only people who are in a museum are ones who really care about the art and really care about, what's being done in that building. Whereas people who are at a concert just trying to get fucked up, make a quick buck, maybe get laid, which is really what the bull market was. So we're getting to find out who the real ones are, who's a snake oil salesman and who's, a real true top OG in the space.
We got XY in chat saying, did Q survive Germany? Haven't heard from him. Couldn't tell ya. I don't know. We can take some bets. What do you guys in chat think? How's Q doing? Is he walking on 2 feet, or is my man using all 4 limbs to move around?
Well, he went to Oktoberfest, right? Is that what he's doing in Germany? Oh, then, man.
I like to picture him with his lederhosen, and like a couple of pitchers of beer just walking around, that little hat that they do.
Yeah. Oh, I hope he's fully dressed up for the nines. Yeah. And then having said that, he's got a big, like 36-ounce stein of beer. And me personally, beer hangovers are the worst hangover, if I'm being honest. Like I would rather have a hard A hangover than a beer hangover. Actually, screw that. 4 Loko hangover is the worst hangover. Okay. Sugar hangovers are the worst when you have too much sugar in it, then beer, and then hard alcohol. And so I think because he's chugging all that beer, he is just bloated, on the toilet, hungover as all F. No, I'm kidding. Q's great. He's all right.
He's in the gutter with some cats.
I fully disagree with the sugar hangovers. Like, my body runs on sugar. If I don't get some sugar and some caffeine every day, useless. Your body gets, conditioned to what you put into it. And if it's like mellow yellow,
gross.
It'll
How dare you, savage?
No. I mean, I don't like drinking. I mean, just
what's
alcohol? I like staying in charge of my faculties. You drink too much, you end up puking, you feel like trash the next day. You know what? I've never had too much mellow yellow to where like I feel shitty the next day. I might drink it too early in the morning and then your stomach is hurtful. But that's like half an hour. You keep drinking it, you move on. Like, you just got to man up sometimes.
They should test your blood, dude. That's incredible.
Seriously. No, you know what I'm into, Savage? Food comas. That's my thing. I'll take a good food coma over a hangover, like fucking night out drinking these days. Any day of the week.
This is what Smay smells like saying wine is the worst. Red,
that's
white,
pretty bad.
Doesn't matter. Is it the boxed wine?
Hot take.
I think like though I will give you a suggestion. If you try dry wine, it has a lot less chemicals in it, because unfortunately, like wine these days has become ultra processed, like everything else, right? If you do like natural dry wines, they are a lot more kinder to your liver, let's just say.
You know, it's all right. I'm gonna bring it back to NFTs here. So, wine consumption, right? Like, I've got some friends who call themselves wine aficionados. You know, who are just like, oh, well, I've had $600 of bottles of wine, and I've drank in Napa Valley and Sonoma and in Italy, and I'm like, I want to see the receipts. You know what I'm saying? Prove to me that you've had. And how great would it be if they could just pull up a scorecard, like every expensive bottle of wine that they've ever had, had a corresponding NFT with it. And you're like, oh yeah, I chugged that baby. That was,
and
that
it's
was
what people
96.
usually do, right? Like they collect the cork. Like,
right.
like real widely, like some people do that.
I'm not gonna
but these days, I have heard of certain companies, like I don't know if it's a Divino or a couple, but there's a couple of wine companies that are starting to implement this NFT utility that you're mentioning here, Funko, where like it's like a wine club. They'll send you certain wines, and every time you pop it, like somehow, like whether it's through a microchip or something, you get like a POAP or a certificate of you having opened that wine.
Cool
and
idea.
So basically, you can start collecting and saying, "Yeah, I've actually tried this." Right? It's pretty dope.
They'll make wine corks on the inside with a little QR code. You can scan it, get your POAP. There you go.
That's a good idea.
Because and now because people are lying all the time, and it's virtue signaling, right? Like people want to brag that like, oh, this is a real Rolex. I'm driving a real Ferrari. And if you in the sports car communities, actually, you'll find people talking about how like, oh yeah, you can make a Ferrari. You know what I'm saying? Like you can get a body kit and put it on a Nissan Maxima and make it look like a Ferrari. And how great would it be? It's like you actually had the NFT proving, like, no, this is real. This is a real one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really got hung over that day. I got the evidence for it. I've got the POAP from last week. Invite all your friends. Come mint your POAP. We were drinking together. I can see it. That doesn't really sound like a millennial thing. Maybe a Gen Zer thing. Want to tell all their friends what they've been drinking and whatnot. We got, I got to say, shout out to chat. Xbox saying, anyone get any Stoics? I didn't.
I wish.
Yeah, I do too.
I wish. Because it sold out so fast. And you had to be like a hawk watching that stuff because everyone who was in line to get one bought 10, and everyone who did get in has flipped them and made a significant amount of money. I heard Gifted has already gotten like 2 ETH from just a handful of sales. He's like already made his money back on the 10 that he purchased. He's still holding on to, I think, 7 of them. And so, yeah. And again, make note that Stoics project is a grand slam. And so if anyone in the NFT community knows, just follow that artist and follow that community. And his next project is going to be a grand slam as well. And so just make sure you guys are keeping track at home. That really what it boils down to is this is you doing your research, is doing a little tally mark, that no one else is going to do this data research for you. Like they did a good. And actually, can we talk about XRP for a second?
Yeah.
Just
Ripple?
Yeah, in the same line of conversation, it just bounced up by 50% recently.
Yeah.
And everything's tanking, but it's going up. And my tinfoil hat, is like, oh, maybe it's because Ethereum is doing so piss poor that people are trying to jump ship to something else. Or did the SEC thing go good? What is it,
guess.
Savage?
That's my guess. I didn't actually read into it. I have a tiny bag of XRP, like 200 XRP or something. So it's not one I keep up real heavily with. That was a 2017 purchase when it was like $2 a token. We're still diamond handing that sucker.
What else are you going to do? Sell for a loss? You got to hold. Yeah, you got to hold.
Exactly. That money I spent in 2017, it was gone forever ago. It's fake internet money, guys. Can't get too stressed out about stuff. Can't get too stressed out about stuff. I did see Zilliqa is doing some stuff in the news. I haven't seen Zilliqa doing anything in quite a while.
Yeah, me neither.
So if they're doing something, we're going to talk about it. Zilliqa teases Web3 gaming console.
Let's go.
Let's go. I think they said in here they've already got like 9 projects or something on it. Kind of looks like an Xbox. Throwback to the old Xbox. It's a Zilliqa box. That's right.
Zilliqa box, right.
Yeah, they said they've got 15 games, not 9, 15 games coming out. So
Tetris. Brick Breaker, Candy Crush. I want to
Hey,
hear
those
what
were some
games
big
they are,
games.
though. Yeah. No,
Those
I
are
mean,
some-
yeah.
I know a lot of people that still play Candy Crush on like level 1 million or something. Like those mobile games can rack up a lot of money.
Yeah,
here's-
you just find your addicts, right? Get them playing nonstop. Same with Farmville, right? So Zilliqa was one of these Ethereum like killers, right? From like
It's
the
a layer
2018 one. Yeah,
Yep, it's a
that's
layer
awesome.
one.
It's
I
been a
think
while since I heard of it.
It's been a while since I talked on that one. I think it was big in China. I don't know. Don't trust me. Don't trust me.
All right.
I'm
I
a guy
trust you.
not wearing a Hawaiian shirt. So how do you trust me?
Dude, where's your Hawaiian shirt, dude? Come on.
I know. Hey, you know what? It's like 54 degrees in Minnesota today. I had to break out the hoodie weather.
Wow. Okay.
What temperature is it where you guys are at? Like, is it nice over there in Seattle?
Let me pull up my phone real quick. Not
It
swear I'm not
feels-
texting.
Feels cold here. It definitely feels cold.
Dude, what is it here? I'm wearing this Hawaiian shirt still. So 63 degrees. Oh, you can't see that. 63 degrees in Seattle right now. So still Hawaiian shirt weather as far as Seattleites
Yeah.
are concerned.
No, it's cold here. My AC's still on. What are you doing? You get focused on NFT Live and forget to turn off the AC.
I like it to be crisp. Cool. Biggie, where are you from? You're on the East Coast? You East Coast?
No, so I'm in Mexico.
Oh,
I'm in Mexico or Texas. Depends sometimes.
Same thing. Mexico,
Yeah.
Texas. They're the same thing. Texas would hate if I heard that.
Oh, are you kidding? Yeah, for sure.
Texas
Same
is
thing.
huge. There's probably like different temperatures throughout the state. That is a massive place.
So when I was in Spain, everyone asked me where I was from, and I would be like, "I'm from Seattle," and they would go, "What? I've never heard of that." And I was like, "I'm from this Washington State," and they're like, "What?" And I'd be like, "I'm from Northern California," and they go, "Oh, okay, Northern California, okay, I know what that means." And so I just had to skip 2 states, put them all together, and that's what I was doing in my mind. I was like, "Oh, Texas, Mexico, same thing, yeah."
Well, it always mixes me up when they're like, "Where are you from?" Washington, and I'm like, "Fuck, DC or like state?" Right? All the time.
And that's why I say Seattle. You know,
Yeah.
Try to skip that conversation just by saying Seattle. But no, in Europe, they're like, "What? Huh?"
You should just reference movies. Like I think that's probably better. Like Sleepless in Seattle,
Sleepless,
Make
yeah.
It Riot and all that shit. Oh, okay.
I mean,
Oh, I
would the
love
kids
hearing
even
that
know what
movie.
that is these days, though? How about we
Sleepless in
ask
Seattle.
chat?
That's a good
Oh.
question.
Do people in chat know what
Even
Sleepless
know
in
what
Seattle
that
is? Do you even know what that is?
Oh,
You've got
Tom
mail.
Hanks is crying.
It's all right. Crying into his money, I'm sure. Just
Oh,
tears.
Yeah.
Just tears.
Poor guy.
Yeah,
Feeling
poor
for him.
dude.
I hope he can figure it out.
Speaking of people that have too much money, did you guys see Funko, Warner Brothers, and Walmart are doing NFTs together? Those are some big brands. Those are some big brands out there. We got I guess we got this article sitting right here.
And it sounds
Wow.
cheap. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like it's going to be cheap and tacky is all I have to say.
They're putting out like a comic and some physical items, and I don't know. Would you guys buy an NFT from Walmart?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
What about Walmart.com? Would that make a difference if it was Walmart.com?
What? No.
I mean, there's Walmart and Walmart.com. Come on,
What are
man.
we talking about?
If you don't have to go into the store, that like changes the entire Walmart experience, right? If I get to stay at home in my pajamas versus going to the store and seeing others in their pajamas, now we're almost at Target level, guys. It's basically Target.
If I want to buy discount milk in bulk, I'll go to Walmart. You know what I'm saying? But if I want to buy an asset that'll appreciate in value, I'm going to Target. No, sorry.
Are you guys Target or are you Walmart people? Where do the two of you shop?
I would
Neither?
definitely say I
all Amazon.
I would much prefer to walk into a Target before a fucking Walmart. Walmart is like hell to me. But I can totally see certain people, you know, like the guys that do the people of Walmart, like walking by one of these things and being like, gosh darn it, look at an NFT finally. Let's get 10 of them. And
so hip and cool.
Hey, so be it, right? Like
Hey,
we all got burned.
Yeah, that's what you can do with your Walmart gift cards that you get from your family. You can go pick up some, NFTs and stuff. Who says your family doesn't love you? They're helping support your degenness. Like, come on. Walmart getting in the game. You guys, if you're not going to Walmart, you're missing out. All right. There is so
People
much
watching.
good action and people watching. It is a great time at Walmart. If you're ever sitting at home and it's like 2 a.m. and you're like, what do I do? I'm bored. I can't sleep. Take your ass to Walmart and just walk around. I've never been so happy in my life.
Like 2022, right? Jesus.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is going. It's like, I agree. It is like going to a country fair. It's something else.
Minnesota throws the best fairs, the absolute best fairs. I swear, everybody here goes, and I tell them I'm not going because who likes people? I'm not trying to smell farts all day. I used to have to work at the fair, and I think once you like work there, it ruins it for forever. Like, on. So I don't know. I don't go.
Made. You know the sausage is made.
Well, I mean, once you work something, it's just not as fun. You're like, oh yeah, I have to do 15 hours in the heat and cleaning carpets or whatever you're doing at the fair. Those people make some ridiculous money though. I know a couple people, that's all they do all year, like a couple weeks at the fair. Their family makes a couple $1 million slinging spaghetti or whatever. I'm not jealous at all.
$1 million?
I'm not jealous at all. Several.
Whoa.
Several.
Well, it's because they're selling hot dogs for $15 a piece, I guess. Yeah.
Yep. And people stand in line forever to get them. I know a lot of people just go to the fair just to get the food. My cheap ass can't do that. You see me at Walmart. Ha. Ha.
Well, where else am I going to get an elephant ear and a funnel cake? Okay. and hold them and double fist them into my mouth. That's fair.
It is the fair. Yeah.
The deep fat fried butter too. Ooh. Have you guys tried that?
Oh, what?
No.
You guys know what I'm talking about?
No.
They take a stick of butter. They take a stick of butter
and they fry it.
Put a stick in it, and then deep fat fry it, and then people just raw dog that.
Like a corn dog, but it's like
it's butter.
Salted, unsalted. I don't think it makes a difference.
Who's hungry?
Yeah, just the thought of it. It's like no.
Yeah.
Dang.
I know a lot of dogs that would love that. I have a few friends' dogs that if they leave the butter out, the dog goes crazy on it and just loves it. I'm sure if it was deep fried, they would really get down on that. But
contributions to American cuisine 101, right? Oh my Lord. And fried Kool-Aid, are you seriously talking about this? This is what space smells like.
Well, and that's the funny thing is in Europe they make fun of it.
I can't fathom that.
Like what is American food, and it's deep fat fried butter, it's cheeseburgers with bacon on it and
McDonald's,
Tex-Mex.
Yeah, Tex-Mex is its own genre, right?
You know what I learned recently? Teriyaki food is American. It's like teriyaki. Have you guys heard of this?
Yeah.
It's American. It was made in America by Japanese immigrants, so it would be technically an American food, right?
Like sriracha.
Yes.
Sriracha
that
also
stuff is delicious.
Like that.
I love that.
When the sriracha plant went down, my girlfriend definitely told me, and we went and stocked up on sriracha. We were like, nope, not happening. Not being without sriracha. I got a couple big bottles.
Hey, I hope you weren't doing that during COVID, like watching Savage come out with like a pallet of freaking sriracha and another pallet of toilet paper. It's like, I know what you're doing.
Toilet paper. Get a bidet. All you people worried about toilet paper. Come on. It's rice. You need a lot of rice and a lot of sriracha. That's right. The staples.
That's
guys.
a good combo.
The staples.
That's a good combo.
Yeah.
Speaking of places that shouldn't exist anymore, Staples. How are they still in business? How did that happen?
Staples. You know what? When I've worked for some big companies, and they order all their computers and all their software and stuff through Staples. So I think they have a decent grab
Boomer
on,
base.
some of like the big corporate people. Because if you're doing IT, you kind of want the exact same computer for every person. So I mean, if you love your IT guy, let's hope so. So then he knows how to support that computer because everyone has the same one. So you put in an order to Staples and you can order the same PC over and over again. So,
but my point is Fry's Electronics went under, I guess, I think Fry's is completely gone, or maybe they're like Blockbuster where there's only like 1 or 2 stores left. And it's because Amazon crushed them out. And now again, conspiracy theory, hat is getting put on here where I think that Staples and Office Depot are working with the mob, you know, and that's how they're open, because they're
laundering
Walter
money
Whiting
for the mob.
A lot of money's being cleaned over there.
Hey, you know,
God
Hunter
bless Hazel.
with
Yeah, thanks,
Amazon
Hazel.
being so popular, I wonder how anything survives these days. Amazon taking over.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what?
Your margin is my opportunity.
You can still get stuff delivered to your house from Walmart. This segment is sponsored by Walmart. Let's shoot big, guys. Let's shoot big. Let's shoot big.
This is an
Walmart
NFT
NFT.
show.
We're gonna change the title. Just Walmart Degens. This will be our
That is
biggest
how
episode ever.
Because they're releasing NFTs. Right. And
That's right.
And every single major store in the future that has some kind of membership program is going to turn it into an NFT. So all these rewards programs, everything, loyalty programs, QFC, Fred Meyer, all that stuff. You know, instead of entering your phone number, you'll be scanning your QR code that leads to your wallet. And that's how they're going to track us in the future.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I almost talked about that on last NFT Live, how they're going to use NFTs to start tracking people. Let's see if I can go find that link.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah. And while we're at it, speaking of Walmart craziness like that, did you guys catch the video of like Sergey Nazarov, the founder of ChainLink, like getting harassed in London or something?
Like,
what
happened?
It's pretty like some crazy guy, like I guess started like hounding him, like, you know, bumped into him in public, started hounding him, like give me my coins back. I don't know. I guess he lost some money because of him. But I was very surprised because Sergey Nazarov, I think, knows MMA or some grappling. Dude, he like towards the end of the video, you see him, he's like pinning him towards like the window and like got some good underhooks. I was like, dude, like this guy's like, am I like tripping or is this guy roll? It was really cool to watch. You know, but it's like it looks like a Walmart video, like something you'd see outside and like look at this.
Oh, yeah. Play the shit. Play it.
Except it's in London.
I think we can
it's
play
like,
this. Find out.
It's TikTok.
Maybe no sound. I don't know.
Pushes him away.
So the guy in plaid is a UFC fighter?
No, yeah. Well, the one that I'm saying but he's the founder of ChainLink. Look at him.
Wow.
Like, dude, come on now.
Dude,
I'm all for that, dude. Hell yeah. I'm going to high five the shit out of that guy next time I see him. Look at him.
Here's the problem.
Pushes him away.
If you are a UFC fighter, you can't fight back because they'll charge you with
using your
a deadly weapon or something like that.
You're like Casey fucking Ryback. Remember that? You're a deadly weapon.
Which sucks.
Navy SEALs, that was
be allowed to
Steven
punch
Seagal.
You should be legally allowed to punch this dude. Like if he attacked me, I would be within my rights to sock him in the face. But if I was a UFC fighter, I sock him in the face, I'm now getting charged for something. I don't think that's fair.
Yeah, because you're a jiu-jitsu black belt or whatever. It depends. That's why you learn some grappling. But like he did really, really well, man. Like I think he was surprised. That guy must have been surprised. It's crazy to watch.
What an idiot.
But yeah, I was like scrolling through my feed and I see that and I'm like, is this Walmart? That's my first thought. This must be at Walmart.
Speaking of crazy stuff, do you guys see the post office in like Australia or something is doing stamps as NFTs? Australians killing us. You know, there's a bunch of boomers collecting stamps. They're gonna move right into collecting digital NFT stamps. Like, I can't believe I didn't think of this. I mean, this should have been like huge. We guys, we could have made so much money. Reinvigorating post stamp collecting. I didn't even know anyone in this decade was collecting post stamps.
They're dying
Probably
off.
big money.
They're dying off.
Yeah. Who uses snail mail anymore? Email's just too easy. What comes in the mail anymore? I don't even know. Do you guys read your mail? Everything I have is everything I have is on auto pay. Like
I clear my mail. I don't like read it so much as I clear it. It's like so like half or 75% of it is just like brochures or political parties wanting donations and shit. It's just like it's a pain. But yeah, I try to wait like 2-3 days, let it get like full, and go take it out.
I don't even do that. I delegated that to the girlfriend. Thank you very much, taking care of me. Just,
Mrs. Savage is a good
Thanks,
one.
Mom.
I gave her the key to the mailbox, and I was like, "There's only one. I don't know what to do."
And she's stealing your identity right now. She's collecting information to.
Hey, that's all right. She'll probably improve the credit, you know? Oh yeah, those stamps. Those stamps are on wax. Gibraltar has stamps on wax.
Oh, wax. Wax keeps
The return
surprising
of
me.
wax.
Every time I read about wax, they're doing something surprising, and I think they're undervalued. If you want to put a fun uncle opinion on something, keep your eye on wax.
Yeah, I agree. Wax is doing stuff. I don't know if that article that I was reading was on wax. I read something on wax today. Maybe
Wax on.
Maybe it was. You know, I don't know. I have gas guzzlers minting tomorrow, so I've been like real busy doing stuff over there with that project. So this show wasn't as well put together as previous ones, but that's okay because we got awesome hosts. Who needs to worry about stuff?
Where are they?
It's Friday. Covington's around here somewhere. I don't know. There he is. He's on the floor.
It's a
by my
Friday
feet.
episode. Come on. We're raw dogging
Yeah, that's
this.
right.
We're getting ready to party.
right.
You know.
Ah, yes.
How do you guys in the chat feel about wax? Does everyone think that wax is properly priced, or is it underpriced or overpriced even? It's so low on the chart. It's like 130th on CoinMarketCap, but it's got a play to earn ecosystem, all of Australia's stamps. I mean, do I need to say anything else?
But bro, look at the chart. I'm looking at the whole chart, like the max, and doesn't look pretty.
For
it
wax?
looks flatlined pretty much. Yeah, dude.
Hmm.
It's surprising though, like you said, like there's like that's definitely signs of life. If they're like they're still building partnerships and shipping stuff. Like I haven't checked it out in a long time, but
and the one thing that surprised me is I was looking around at play to earn games, and I noticed that at the games that have the most active players right now are wax on the wax blockchain. And if you look, and that's in direct competition with, you know, AVAX, with Polygon, with Ethereum, with Solana, and these are coins in the top 25. And it just makes you go like, wow, what is going on that this activity isn't influencing the coin price in any way? It was kind of shocking to me. And so that's why I think it's kind of undervalued. Not financial advice.
Go ahead. Yeah. ENS domains have been blowing up. Even the Patriots bought patriots.eth for $99,000. That seems like a super cheap deal. I don't know who had that ENS, but brother, you sold out. I think they can afford a little bit more. But you know what? Profits are profits.
It's a bear market. He needed the liquidities.
Oh.
Yeah, he's probably got Vikings.eth and Lions.eth, and he's holding on to the big money ones.
Yeah. I did. So I took a law class in college, and they told us that back in the day when Web 2 was coming around, some guy bought McDonald's.com, BurgerKing.com, JackInTheBox.com. He scooped them all up, knowing or thinking that one day those companies would have to pay him big to get them back. But what happened was all of those companies came together and sued him. And got all of the URLs from him. And all they had to pay was the legal fees. And so he didn't get a payout at all. And no, it's tragic. Again, we talked about this on Wednesday, how they're bailing out the big companies. Yeah. But when this guy made a very savvy entrepreneurial move, and it probably wouldn't have cost, what, $100,000 million bucks for McDonald's is nothing. Making $1 billion a day.
That's probably what they spent on the lawyer. Like,
yeah.
Why not just,
I'd rather pay the lawyer than pay him. Yeah.
And the thing is also, like, I think when you're like using trademark names is very different. Like, I guess the battle that you're going into, you got to weigh is the juice worth the squeeze kind of situation. Whereas if you book something like water.com, then like nothing can be done. Then you can really sit on your hind.
Who owns water?
Like, who bids more? You know, exactly. But what do you guys feel about, like, for example, I'm bullish on domains. Honestly, .eth for sure. Obviously, the .sols, but even those, I feel like I'm just very curious to see how that plays out. If it doesn't end up being more like, again, a vanity play, right? To be able to say, hey, I have sun dot soul or whatever, or for example, gun or water, like these like super high value names, right? And it's like, okay, you can sell those for a lot of money. I can see certain corporations or businesses needing to use something like water or gun or this or that, right? But other than that, like I think certain names like say Biggie, like I look for them a lot, and if I can get them, I'll snatch them. But they're very hard. It's a very popular name to get, and I understand like people will have certain amount of value. But when you compare it to like the XYZs, dot XYZs, dot this, dot that, I wonder if the root word itself, if being able to buy that is not more valuable than the dot sol dot eth, right? So if you get water, you get dot water, so that way you can sell like soda dot water,
Wow.
or like
Okay.
treatment dot water. Like the word itself, the root word itself is going to be more valuable than the dot eth or dot sol, where it's like convenient for when you're transacting in that train, but it's still a vanity metric mostly.
I'm reminded of whenever we were getting our first emails, and you'd get on there and I'd type in my name, already taken. And then I would go, oh, well, then I'm my name for 2069. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't going to go find that guy and pay him out the ass to get that URL. I was just going to add a bunch of @ signs and exclamation points to the end until I found one that was available. And so, maybe right now when we're having a little bit of a bubble moment with them while they're a fad, you can flip them. But I think in the future, whenever like a water company comes along and they're going to call themselves water, they'll just get the one that's available, like water for 2069 or water H2O. I love it. I gotta have it. They'll just keep adding words until they find one that works. And the people who bought them for too much aren't going to be able to flip them in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if we'll even see URLs in the future, or will it just be like a barcode you scan, or
and maybe
whatever.
That's why they're so bullish on like the number URLs, right? Like the number .eth names are so big, or like even more so like the emoji ones. Like what's more valuable, like an emoji.url? Like if you own a single, like if you own the Shaka emoji, like Shaka.eth. Like,
interesting.
holy shit.
Oh, that is kind of cool. Okay. Or a GIF. But the emoji though. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Emojis are a universal language. Maybe the one that'll survive forever. I mean, you could draw that one on a cave wall and people would understand what you're talking about. Happy, sad, whatever. Kind of a lot harder to figure out English, any other language. If it's just a picture, super easy. Like emojis might be around forever. I like using emojis.
They're universal, right?
They are super universal. You don't need to know anything. Can you read faces? Boom.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely like very interesting stuff going on in the whole domain space, right? Like even the traditional one with the .xyz. I don't know if any of you own any .xyz domains, but the companies definitely found out how popular they are, and like they're bumping up the prices significantly. Right? Whereas before it's like what you used to get because it was what you could find, right? Funko. Nutty. But we'll see how it develops. I think there'll be some more bubbles for sure, right? Especially if this ETH one is sustained in the way it has, because it's gone on for a while. No, what is it, like a couple of months now since they've been hot, and you hearing about all these other sales stuff, and regardless of the bear market.
So my buddy over at Crypto Tutorials, 808 Dave, for those of you who are in the LADZ City Discord, he said something very salacious on Twitter this morning, and he was talking about how like Ethereum, kind of the backbone of Web3, like you were saying, Biggie. But he said that very controversial, and I even called him out. I'm like, is this a clickbait? Is this clickbait? He said that whenever Web3 is in full steam, Bitcoin will have died completely, or something along those lines. He's like, it's not a Web3. It's not going to be used in Web3. Like it'll be the swan song for Bitcoin. And I was just like, what are you talking about, dude? That's like saying if Magic the Gathering is going to die because Pokemon was invented. you know?
Yeah.
And then he responded with, no, it's more like Ask Jeeve is going to die because Google came around. And I was like, oh, that's a good point. So we had a fair back and forth about it, but kind of clickbait. I don't know. Talk amongst yourself in the chat. How do you guys feel? Do you think that when Web3 is in full steam, Bitcoin will be irrelevant? How does that make you guys feel?
Look, I'm not an expert for sure, but my gut reaction immediately is like, no, not a chance. I think we, like many people that have come on board, and like, you know, that maybe you started with Bitcoin and you discovered Ethereum and you've seen all the development and you've been on board into the whole Web3 thing. You're so bullish that maybe we're stuck in this echo chamber, right? About smart contract platforms and all this, but Bitcoin is still the OG. It still carries the Lindy effect. It has been unhackable. Russia right now is starting to accept it as payment, right? As payment rails. Like, regardless, irrespective of what you think about Russia, the fact that it's turning to Bitcoin as a legitimate way to use it to fund whatever their operations require, because they're getting squeezed on all sides, says something about the technology. And that type of power, you do not just, it doesn't just dissipate because you made, you know, faster transactions per second or this or that. And on top of it, you do have like I think what's her name, I forget right now, but did an excellent article right now on like the Lightning Network, which I'm not a fan of, but at the same time, the growth and the amount of development that's going on in Bitcoin right now to add smart contract capabilities and to speed it up is, I think, something that nobody should be sleeping on, you know? And I also don't think that like one has to win and the other one has to die. I think they can coexist. I definitely am more in favor of thinking of the world as a multi-chain world, but to think that full Web3 like Bitcoin will be a dream, I mean, I don't know. Like, we're still like Ethereum is still an experiment, right? Yes, I know that like there were a whole bunch of stakers right now that staked their ETH post merge, but we still have to see what happens. Like, has it become more centralized? Are other chains going to be faster? Are the roll-ups going to come in time and sharding? I mean, these are all really everybody's question, right? But Bitcoin dying just like that, yeah, that's it sounded like clickbait.
I don't see it. Bitcoin's too powerful. Bitcoin.
I mean,
I don't know.
It's Coca-Cola. It's the number one, you know?
I mean, even back in like 1999, before Google popped off, or 98, all my classmates were still using Google. I had a computer lab teacher that realized that all of his students were using Google, and he said, hey, everyone should go buy a share or two of Google. You won't regret it. You'll make a lot of money. I wish I would have listened, because he saw what was up and was seeing trends. And then, you know, hopefully, Mr. Berger, you saved a bunch of that Google riding well right now. Like, I had a couple different professors, you know, tell me to buy some good stuff like Google or Bitcoin when they were super cheap. Never listened.
And I mean, you also pointed out, like in one of the links that you shared with us, Savage, like Iran is like the Iranian central bank, you know, is starting to implement crypto rail. So I mean, I think when like these countries that are so landlocked from the financial system, right, and like maybe are at odds with the world, are turning to this technology to solve their financial woes and their problems, it's because it works, you know. And it's because it cannot be censored or taken down just by their enemies, right? So I don't know. I think that's powerful stuff. So it's not that easy to kill.
The time of CBDCs is near. We're
Oh
gonna
yeah,
start seeing a bunch of them roll out. I didn't think Iran was going to be one of the first ones, but hey, power to them. I mean, it's nice to see anybody doing anything in the crypto space.
and conversely, like you're seeing the United States trying to take like jurisdictional, what do you call it, possession of Ethereum, right? Like Gensler literally is saying that everything falls under U.S. jurisdiction, every transaction. So therefore, though, it's the same playbook that they've used before, like to bend like Swiss banks and the financial world to their needs, right? I need everybody KYC'd, FATCA, everything, right? And that's what they're trying to do now with Ethereum. Literally, that's what this guy's trying to do. I mean, it's one thing to try to regulate like ICOs and specific products, right? Like projects, but to try to regulate the underlying utility platform like Ethereum and to say that this falls under US jurisdiction and everybody else must comply. That's scary, man. And honestly, could they have the power to bend it to their will? Well, if you look at who's taking the most Ethereum and validates everything, it's the central exchanges, right? And it's Lido and Rocket and all these guys. So I don't know. I'm not like running around doing Ethereum victory laps just yet, right? Like I'm rooting for it for sure. I love it. Yes. But I'm keeping my options open and fucking Bitcoin proof of work to this day. Hey, so it consumes some energy, compared to what like Schwab's infrastructure costs to upkeep, right? And the amount of like waste these companies do, or just traditional mining. I mean, it's like, please, it's worth it, right? Yeah. It's like whatever.
It's doing something.
Yeah. No one's tracking those other companies either. Like if they want to spend ass loads of money using up energy to keep their systems running, the government's not poking their head in there and saying, let me make sure you're doing it right. They're just like, are you paying taxes? Let's go. Keep it coming.
Yeah.
Keep it coming. Keep it coming. So,
but regulation is coming, man. It's coming. You're starting to see it play out more. Also, like against DAOs. I don't know if you saw that one too, like the CFTC action against DAO outrages crypto and one of its own commissioners. It's fucking nuts. It's coming. They're gonna try.
I'm a little slow today, but we do have that one too.
Right on.
CFTC action against DAO outrages crypto and one of its.
I'm outraged.
Yeah. No, but again, like because this sets precedent, right? So basically, they're saying like if you ever voted on a snapshot proposal or this or that, like you need to report, you need to comply. Again, you fall under certain jurisdictional. They have, a reason to take legal proceedings against you. If this is what's going to set precedent, then this is what's going to go with every other DAO. So, I mean, it's not. There's nothing to take lightly for sure.
I mean, who would remember doing this? I think most of us are degens. You might go vote or like participate in this ecosystem late night, and then the next day, you wake up, you're like, oh, that wine, I'm just so hungover. And then the government hits you up several months later and says, oh, you know what? You voted in this DAO. You didn't report that. Like, I don't know. Like, they're coming after our people. Leave us alone.
Well, and shouldn't that be the way taxes are done? Is the government just hits us up with a bill?
Yes.
And that's how it is in all the European. Yeah. And then this whole idea, like, and that's why I love that there's a line at the bottom of my taxes. Like, is this to your best of your knowledge? I'm like, yeah. Well, I don't know what else is missing. Please let me know. And it sucks that they're probably not going to let me know for like 7 years, and you're like, hey, fuck you guys, predatory tax systems. Like, I'm trying my best here. I haven't been audited yet, and I don't know a lot of people who have, but they do like use a lot of those scare tactics. Like, we're going to audit every single American, and they just put $80 billion into the IRS. The government just passed an $80 billion deal, and they're coming under scrutiny for it because they're like, what are you going to do with that $80 billion? You could buy the best piece of software in existence, the best piece of accounting software that has ever been made, and it's probably going to cost less than $1 billion. Like what are you doing with $80 billion? Is it just to try to audit more people?
This was in the news this morning. IRS to summon users who don't report and pay tax on crypto transactions. So if anyone's out there thinking you're getting away with stuff, look, they're already reporting that we're not going to get away with anything. So
I mean, when you even have somebody like Powell from the Fed come out and say that substantial savings can still be seen on people's balance sheets as an excuse to keep fucking raising interest rates.
Oh, what an asshole.
It's like literally, it's like,
what an asshole.
Until I see you have no more savings, then I'll stop.
I want
and
you
then
all
I'm going to ask them,
in the
ain't it
street.
great to be free? Right?
Oh my God. The reason people have substantial savings is because the country is sliding into chaos, and people want to have a safety net. That's why they're not buying the new iPhone or getting a new car. You know? Oh man, it's messy.
It is, man. It's a very strange world, and then to think like I guess like I don't know. I've always been of the importance, like there's people that think it's like, oh, I don't know, you want to get rich, save on your, they always do the coffee thing, the Starbucks. I don't buy at Starbucks, but it's like, no, like just make more money, start a side hustle, do more stuff. Like, I mean, sure, like definitely be frugal and mindful of your spending, but like penny pinching is not gonna fucking like do it, right? And it sounds and it feels like a lot of these tactics and things that they're trying to implement and do are just ways around, as long as they don't get the fuck with their base, right? Like it's like take it from anything and everybody else, but not my base, not my people, right? Like my fucking banks and my all that shit.
You will own nothing and be happy.
Yeah,
that's the word around.
Wow.
I don't think I'm gonna be happy, Funko. I don't think so.
That's your problem.
We need our deep fried butter sticks.
Yeah.
Like the fuck. I'm not gonna be happy without my deep fried butter sticks.
No, come on, nah.
You know what? I bet you they don't ban that. They're gonna start giving those away with like free money. Like, come claim your money and your deep fried butter. Trying to kill us all off. That's what it is.
Yeah, they want to slow us down. We're too exhausted to riot because we have all that butter in our stomachs and we're dying younger. Yeah. Keep smoking cigarettes, kids. Yeah, that's good for the government.
They ran that too. They also ran a bunch of milk ads forever because the government was stockpiling milk.
Yeah.
That stuff's not good for anybody. Jeez.
And I'll be honest with you, I have cut dairy out.
Me too.
I am sleeping better and I feel better. And I'm like, wow, how much of that was just, you got to drink 8 glasses of milk every single day, as a kid. And I was fat as a kid. I want to be honest with you. I was really, really, really fat as a kid. And now looking back on, I'm like, oh yeah. Cause it was like pizza for lunch, big glass of milk before school with cereal, which is like worse for you than ice cream is.
Delicious.
Like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, a big bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Oh, I'd have 2 or 3 of those a day.
Yeah,
and that ended up being like the worst thing I could put in my body. But it said on the box, it was full of vitamins, Oh man. Yeah.
To be read the disclaimer.
I love cereal. That's one of the things I wish I eat some dry cereal because we don't do dairy. But yeah, milk was messing with my skin.
Do you use any of those alternative dairies, Savage?
Almond? Oat
milk?
Why not?
Gross. No, my skin doesn't like it. I don't know. I break out no matter what it is. If it's almond, dairy, I don't know what's in there. Death.
If it's white and creamy, get out of my creamies.
You know what? We've been having a little bit of iced coffee though. That stuff's so delicious. So delicious. Can't turn that away. But hey, you know what? This Friday episode is flying by. Can't even believe we've already been here
an hour
for
in. Yeah.
An hour.
Time flies when you're having fun, man.
Time does fly when you're having fun. This is super fun hanging out with you guys.
You want to wrap it up?
No, we can keep going. I don't have nothing else to do today. I was just blew my mind. I looked over at the time and I was like, holy shit. But no, we can.
Hope you guys are enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm going to a Jim Jeffries comedy show tonight.
Nice.
And that's what I'm looking forward to. In the meantime, I've got this big internal video for Microsoft I'm churning out. And I'll have that out by the end of the day. Then off of Jim Jeffries. Then WSU's playing Oregon tomorrow. Let's go, baby. Man, what a weekend.
Let's go.
I'm excited this weekend started.
So remember when you see Funkel's episode on Sunday and he looks fresh as a fucking daisy, that shit was pre-recorded.
Because I shot it yesterday.
Say a prayer for him.
That's how he gets him to look so nice. Uncle, he makes great content. I always enjoy watching the Fun Uncle episodes.
Yeah, it's good times, man.
Can definitely tell. Too. Talented dude. Talented.
Keep it coming.
We'll
be there Pour it on me.
We'll be there one day,
Okay. So
Jacob too. Jacob, shout out Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob.
You do great work, brother. You do great work, brother. Definitely appreciate having you on the show helping.
Thing to bring up. Did you guys hear about the whole MOMA sale of 70 million worth of their assets, which presumably are going to go into NFTs? It made big headlines. So MoMA is going to be selling 70 million worth of some of their assets, and like these are like legit like real art paintings and stuff like that, and supposedly it's to like revamp certain like wings or areas of their like museum and stuff. and like basically there's a debate, right? Because obviously the NFT world immediately thought like, oh shit, like MoMA's gonna pump our backs, right? Um, Whereas I think the truth is somewhere in the middle. I do think some of that will be devoted for NFTs, most probably, right? Like fine art NFTs, right? So that I would be surprised if they buy like a Bored Ape or something like that. I imagine more they're going to go for the Fidenzas and stuff like that. But regardless, it was very interesting. It's like, wow, like when you see an institution like MoMA, literally not only like wanting to get into it, but like selling in this market. I don't know what they're gonna sell, but they're gonna sell to get into digital art. Whether all of it is NFTs or not, that is good for the space, and so it's pretty exciting. I'm looking forward.
What's MoMA?
The Museum of Modern Art.
Oh, my uneducated ass. There we go.
Cool.
This is why you got to surround yourself with better people. They will pull you
Apologies
up.
for that. Yeah. Museum of Modern Art. I mean, it's an institution, like they have branches everywhere. They have one in New York and Los Angeles. And I'm sure there's others.
Oh.
But you know, they have these, they're great. Savage, if you're ever in like one of these big cities and you see a MoMA, it'll be worth checking it out. And it's really cool. Like even like their stores are very highly curated and thoughtful. Like, but I guess they're interested in NFTs, man. So let's see what they buy, dude.
In real life events, I don't do many of those. When it's in the metaverse,
you're down.
I'll be a MoMA man.
I'm sure some of that money might go for that, right? Like somebody's gonna do like a digital twin of one of these structures, and like, you know, you'll be able to walk into it. We'll do it together. We'll do a show inside the MoMA. How's that?
Would that be cool?
Yeah, that sounds fun.
That'll be dope.
Maybe someone will get
the future here. No, it's just the idea of the future here is like there's a museum, right? And then they're going to make a metaverse version of the museum. And then in the future, kids will be like, oh man, wouldn't it be cool if we could go to this place in real life? You know what I'm saying? Like there's just a full circle, you know, and then we're like, no, go to the metaverse is lame. I'm actually going to go and see it in real, in person, you know?
Oh man.
I heard some people saying they wanted to tear down golf courses or something like that. Maybe that's what will be the future generations. We should tear down all the museums. I've already seen them. They're on the metaverse. Let's just tear them down.
I mean, yeah. Did you guys ever watch George Carlin's bit in regards to golf courses? It's hilarious. I honestly implore any and all of you out there to look at his bit on golf courses. I mean, talk about like wasteful rich person fucking sport, right? And the cost to maintain them and to build them.
Yeah.
It's like,
oh my
ever
God.
heard of Top Shot, motherfucker? Like,
yeah.
And now, like,
acres of land.
I don't know. Right. I loved playing golf growing up, and someone owns that. It's just not like they're just throwing money away. You know, they take royalties and stuff, and you know, if I own the golf course, that's my money. I don't like people saying, let's just go shut down all the golf courses. It's like, hey, I'm not coming into, you know, your kitchen telling you what to cook. Leave my job alone. Leave my job alone.
True,
I don't know. I'm defending the golf courses.
I'm salty because I suck at it, Savage. I'm like Happy Gilmore squared, dude, when I'm out there or try to hit any fucking thing. It's not my thing. Baseball, golf, all of those.
You know what the fix to that is? You just start playing disc golf. You don't have to pay the fees to do it. Is for most of the time free, and you just go out there and start throwing discs around. Take your dog. Super fun time walking through the. It's everything great about golf, minus the money. It's DJ Savage style right there. And golf too expensive for me. Yeah, when I was in high school, we were on the golf team, so it was free to go play golf. But now I'm an adult, and they're like, yeah, we need some money from you, and I'm like, not that cool of a sport anymore. Better calm down. There's a disc golf course across the street.
Yeah, you get pretty teed off when they ask for it.
That's right. That's right. I used to go into the golf courses and scoop out all the golf balls and sell them back to people. That was a good way to make money as a child. If you guys are looking for a way to make some money in the Bear, head down to the golf course, start fishing out balls, shine them right up, and sell them right back to people. It's pretty good way.
Or sell your blood and semen, whatever works. You know, what do we got laying around?
Hey, there are a lot of degens in the crowd. I'm gonna guess there's too many drugs to be selling.
Speaking of hash
Casino.
rhymes, how's hash rhyme? I'm sorry, she's the best. Hash rhymes is amazing.
Yeah, it's
we're
nice
lucky to
seeing
have
hash
the
rhymes
best
in
mods
Shadow
in the
Time.
biz.
Yep.
Thank
Mama,
you.
hash rhymes.
They do hold us down.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And didn't hash rhymes save our butt before the show went live today? Didn't you see that?
Yeah.
Let's just save
Yeah,
your
I
butt. What happened?
definitely had an error. So I went to adjust the title on this episode, and instead of hitting edit, I hit go live, and then I had no idea where it went because it was just I hadn't programmed that yet. So I was like, well, I have no idea where that went. I was talking to Biggie. I was like, oh, I don't know where that went, brother. It went somewhere, but that was the wrong button. And then Hash was like, yo, I don't know what this is. I'm like, oh, that's where that went. That's a mistake. Let me go delete that real quick. That never happened. There are no mistakes on this show ever. Nifty Q knows what he's doing, leaving me in charge. No mistakes.
He did a great job, Q. He's doing so good.
That's right. I got rid of all the evidence. Let's go.
and I love that. When did you start doing these NFT lives? It was only a couple months ago. You know, you went from being, a guest host to a host to now just the full on host. And now,
Well, I was doing the LADZ City radio for a long time, which I have all these awesome bumpers I don't ever use. There's so many of them, but
it is a good one.
Yeah, I don't have them labeled. We're gonna have to gamble here.
I love it. Can't hear it.
Can't hear it.
Nothing. It was great then. I love it. Oh, that was good. The best.
I hear it in my head. So, I bet you I could do this.
LADZ City.
Our
vibe, our tribe.
See that? You know your system. You can fix it when you fuck it up.
It's dope. And the thing is, like, those are legit like radio bumpers. It's so cool that our main man Tigbo hooked us up with those bumpers, and they sound legit.
Oh, nice.
They sound really. This one might even sound better.
Broadcasting live
from the heart of LADZ City. This is LADZ City Radio.
Hell
so professional.
That's fucking dope, man.
The sound engineering that went into that is incredible, right?
Oh, you want to hear one I made? Here we go.
Yeah, let's go for it.
LADZ City Radio with DJ Savage and DJ Sia.
That's good. Dang.
It took a
Really
while
good.
to learn that. Tigbo made some awesome ones, and I was like, I think I can do that.
Nice.
A lot harder than it looks. There's so many filters and stuff on the back end. I'm sure Uncle knows. You start playing with audio. Dear Lord, is that a deep hole?
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I'm never happy with my content. I probably have that same file saved 100 times with just slightly different.
No, I need to put a deadline on things because you're right. It's subjective. And if you don't have that, like, it's got to be done on this day, then you will just keep playing with it and keep adding to it and doing research on like cooler things you can do with it. And I picked that up from watching the South Park documentary. Do you guys see that one? 6 days to air.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
Yeah, they do a whole episode in 6 days.
Yep.
And the reason they did that is because they kept dragging it on. And they're like, no, it only really takes us 6 days to make these. And so if we force ourselves to do it in 6 days, we'll do it in 6 days. And that's what the whole documentary is about. And after watching that, I was like, yeah, you're right. The pressure's on. It's finals week every single week. Just get it done.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to have deadlines. I think all humans like having schedules and deadlines and stuff. Like, I find streaming a whole lot easier now that I have a show every week because it's, every Friday, this is what you're doing. It's not like, I feel bad today. I'm not going to do NFT Live. No, you're a man. Like, grow up.
Grind.
Fulfill your responsibilities. Yeah, just do it.
Carpe diem. I know. Yeah.
Yeah. And after a while, you're like, oh, that was a year ago. Look how long I've been doing this or that. So,
and if you had
put your
never
mind to
started,
something.
we wouldn't have you here hosting NFT Live on LADZ City.
I went a little crazy. I was like, oh, Buffalo needs a co-host. I'm just going to go buy several $1,000s of gear and see how it works.
Take that risk. You got to take a leap, and it worked.
Might have been the biggest waste of money, but hey, you know what? I'm too stubborn. I'm too stubborn to lose money. I'm just too stubborn. Hash Rhymes. Shout out to Hash Rhymes and Llama. They listened to a lot of bad audio from me back in the day. Like, hey, Hash, do you hear an echo? Yeah, the echo's still there, just like the last 30 times. Oh God, I'll get it. I appreciate you. Hey, everyone needs someone, and you know what? If I got one of the best helping me, I'm gonna take it.
And that's the beautiful thing about this whole community is it's for me too. you know, from where I was last year with my content to now, you know, it was kind of like that, continually engaging with the community. What do they like? What do they dislike? Let's shave this off. Let's add this, you know. And so my content has gotten better as a result. And then, like you said, I have those days where I feel like crap, and I'm like, does the world really need an episode of Fun Uncle this week? And it really is about like, no, just like honing it, putting in the time, grind. So many people quit, and yeah, she's the best, absolutely the best. We were Jacob and I were talking about that. Jacob does a lot of development for a bunch of other shows. He doesn't do just LADZ City shows. He has a whole wealth of like YouTube shows that he edits for. And I was asking about that. I'm like, what have you noticed just trend wise? And he said that like, he said there's a 10 episode barrier. He said whenever people stand up a YouTube show and they get to 10 episodes, they quit. And we've seen that a lot. I don't want to name any names on our LADZ City community, but if you look back, you know, we've had a lot of shows that start, make it to 6 episodes, and they're gone, you know, and that's happened like 3 or 4 times now. And that's another mentality I keep in my mind is like, it's like everyone quits. 99% of people quit. And we all have that self-doubt. What is that word? Imposter syndrome inside of ourselves. That voice in our mind that says that like, you know, why do it? Because someone else is out there doing it better than you. Like, why even do it? You know, it's like, yeah, but everyone quits. Everyone's got that voice that's telling you to quit. You got to push through it and keep grinding. And that's what we're here.
I love that.
Right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I miss doing the radio show, but when they said, "Hey, you can do NFT Live," I was like, "Oh, let's go. It was harder just because there's so much stuff that goes on the back end with video and pulling in other people's signals and audio and building. No, it was harder. I like challenges. I felt like I had already conquered that one. I'm like, I could do that one anytime. Let's go to something more difficult.
Massive kudos to you, Savage, is you updated. You didn't stick with vMix just because, you know, the fallacy of sunk cost. You spent all the money in vMix. I got to keep using this. You found a better platform that we're using right now. This Restream software that is better, and it's more streamlined is the word I'm looking for. And so kudos to you to not being that, you know, but I'm locked in my ways. Yeah.
I tell you what. I didn't find it. It was Nifty or Jacob or someone on the back end, but I was definitely hesitant. I was like, I mean, I've spent a lot of time learning vMix. I'd really like to use vMix. And one day before the show, Nifty was like, bro, just pull it up. It's easy. If you understand vMix, you'll understand Restream. It's easy. Yeah. I was super nervous that episode. Like, I'm going to screw everything up.
He did it before the episode went live?
You know, he probably told me the week before and I just didn't do anything with it. I was like, I'll get into it. I'll get into it. And I was like, oh yeah, this week I'll try Restream. And then next week it was this week I'll try Restream, but I never actually did it. Like actually jumping in and I mean, how do you practice streaming unless you're streaming? And, you know, if this is about guests and stuff and can't really, I mean, I could bring in myself on 3 different computers, but all the speakers are right here. So who knows if there's an echo, because there's always an echo. So I don't know. It's good to have people that push you sometimes and say, you can do it. Just jump. Just
go with the flow.
Jump.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got a parachute. Just jump. It'll be okay. So there's lots of people inside LADZ City just grinding and working hard. So if you're out there and, you know, you like the content or you want to be a content producer yourself or you want to get more involved, jump in the Discord, hang out with us, start DMing people. Like, we're all pretty friendly, except for Uncle.
I'm the worst.
That guy, always just in a bad mood. Like, I don't know if I've ever seen him in a good mood.
Life, living's hard. But I want to give a shout out. And while we're giving shout outs to people, I also want to shout out the Web3 crew: Gifted, Jay Yacht, Sarah Script, Mo Runda, the whole Nifty Castle crew. They are joining forces with us. And so they are kind of like our sister brother network, Web3 over on Twitter. They do Twitter Spaces Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. And they do a 2-hour show every single time. Yeah. And it is incredible content. Alpha's being dropped. There's so many people jumping up to be a speaker on that show that they have to regularly boot people off to get the new people up. And everyone has their hand raised. They're very polite. And whenever they finally have a chance to speak, they're like, here's the alpha. You know, I'm not shilling something. This is something I believe in. You got to look into this project. And it's very intelligent people. And again, I said at the beginning of the show, the conversations are better in a bear market. You know,
They
the
are.
people who are showing up for these live shows and dropping alpha are people who have actually done the research and want other people to know. And so that's why this, if you've ever wanted to listen to a Web3 or NFT show, now is the time to tune in. And so got to give a shout out to those guys. Twitter Spaces, Monday through Thursday, Web3. You're missing out if you're not listening. It's great content.
They're fun.
Hey, you know
They're
what?
fun.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask, like, so is there a process like who gets booted off? Because I think like I remember hearing GIF like there's like I don't know if there's a time limit or like a
Gotta
shut
be
the
early.
fuck up like sign or something.
No, he has to
okay.
beg us. He has to beg us. He's just like, hey,
Uh,
please, anyone who's already spoken, please get off the stage, please. And so what I do is I come on and I help him start the show. Like I'll help get the wheels going and get the conversation going. And then as soon as he says that, I'm out. I jump off immediately, and I let him wrap up the show. And
Right
but
on,
that's
man.
kind of a what an honor system maybe kind of thing.
Yeah. Hey, and you know what? If you don't catch the shows and you have no idea what we're talking about, these are all on Twitter. You can go to GiftEd's Twitter page. That's how I do it.
Recorded.
And then in his bio, he's got the Web3 Morning Show. Click that, and they've got all the different episodes saved on Twitter. So you can definitely go catch up if you've been missing. There's lots of good alpha in there to check out. Like, hey, you know, if you don't have plans this weekend, you're not watching college football with Fun Uncle, there's a good day, like whole bunch of content out there. And hey, I think we're streaming to Twitter right now too. So
Oh yeah.
let's go.
What an upgrade. We're an upgrade.
Yeah, it's nice to get the episodes out there. But, you know, I think it's almost time, guys. Should probably shut this one down. Which is
Wrap it
sad
up.
because I love hanging out with you guys, but sad.
Likewise.
There's always
Any final
work
words,
to do.
Biggies, before we wrap it up?
Yeah.
Man, all I can say is enjoy your weekends, man. Enjoy your weekends, because that's what I plan to do with mine. Funko seems to be doing that too, and I'm sure Savage in his dog is gonna do the exact same thing. So
That's
yeah,
right. He gets excited every time the show stops. He's like, it's food time. You're gonna give me attention because
dude, it's R&R time. It's
Yep.
imperative, you know, especially if you're in this space and you're consuming and you're working and you're doing your things. Like you need that time to unplug. But if not, I'll see
Absolutely.
you guys in the Web3 show for sure.
All right, Marty McFly popping in saying OVOT. We hear you, brother.
Our vibe, our tribe.
Our vibe, our tribe. What's up, Uncle?
No, I was just gonna. Marty McFly came into the Web3 episode on Thursday and did an incredible WWE impersonation as he was shilling a project. I think we asked him to put on a character voice, and he just committed. And for like 10 minutes straight, was just like, "Here's the deal, brother. I got this new alpha for you." It was so funny. And so shout out to Marty McFly because I'd never heard him talk before. I always see him chatting in the comments. So I want to give Marty McFly like, dude, you're the fucking man. Keep doing that. You're the best, legend. But I didn't want to.
Thank you, Hash Rhymes.
Thanks, Hash. Thanks everybody coming out. Asmodai, you're the best. This is what space smells like. Bye.
Yeah.
And we'll
everyone.
see you next week.
That's right. See you next week. And Nifty Q will be back next week. So the schedule will return to normal. The crazy Friday episode only on Friday, and Wednesday getting a little bit more irregular. Back to the basics. Back to a normal show where we don't talk about absolutely everything. A little bit more on topic for NFTs and stuff. So we're going to let Uncle dance us out of here. Let's go. Our vibe, our tribe.
Oh, baby.
Our tribe.
Happy weekend,